Hello and welcome. Yig here. Today we're looking at Rogue Loops demo. This is a game that's coming out in second quarter of 2025. It is, imagine if you mixed Darkest Dungeon with Loop Hero. So, if you like the gameplay you see here, there'll be a link to the Steam page in the description. There's a demo up as of time of this recording. I cannot guarantee for how long. Sometimes those things go away for some reason. If you want to help the channel grow, subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. All right, jumping in, we have quite a few attempts. It actually took me a little bit to get the patterns down and everything. But I will say it was a very fun game while I was doing it, and I was having some pretty good time with the loop mechanic, and I think it's pretty cool. So we'll go over the meta progress real quick. This gentleman right here, when you bring him pages, will unlock new, basically stuff for you to pick up during your runs. This lady over here, she gives you your upgrades, in-run upgrades. So we're going to buy a blessing here. Once you can get to the boss consistently, if you do actually play this demo, this upgraded wish stash will help you collect the meta progress for the blue stuff, because you can buy some for 50 gold at the end of each run. And the run only goes up to the first boss. So in this case, if you wanted to build that, you'd want to get that. So we're going to do that. We bought ourselves a wish. Now, the wish is over here. That's your more standard tree with everything in it that you imagine it has. And we are going to go over here. I can't quite decide between these, like, as to which one I like better. This one you can activate more easily, and there are whole room mechanics that make this one just not exist sometimes. But for the rooms where you don't have that, it's a lot of extra damage. I think we'll do that this time, because we're kind of going up on both of those. So, and then lastly, we have this gentleman over here. He gives you your character level up on a per character basis, and we're already maxed, so you get 2 of these for each time you run, plus you can get other ones in there as well. So, and as you upgrade him, his ability, which is your right click, is on a keyboard. I'm not sure what it is on a controller. It gets upgraded to do more things. So, jumping in. Now, the reason I say this is somewhat more of a Darkest Dungeon kind of thing is, oh, that was a slightly long intro. I apologize. Everything has a negative as well as a positive. So you want to pick the ones that you like, and it debuffs the rooms. So when we pick this, it's going to be here throughout the run in this room. This room is separate from it, which is one of the things I'd love to see it have more quadrants, so that you can maybe that'll be in the full game or the early access. But I think if it had a little bit more quadrants, it would probably be, the runs would probably be a little less. Sometimes they get a little samey towards the end. All right, but that's also probably limited from the beta. So now when you pick these, I'm going to take this one because the magic crystal with the curse isn't too bad. The explosive barrels, and there's one other one there's traps and explosive barrels. Explosive barrels aren't too bad. Traps kind of hurts a lot. All right, flame disc. Okay, I tried the flame disc and I didn't really do great with it. There's a perfect cast system in here, by the way, and it's actually really good. So, orbiting ice, summon 2 orbs instead of 1 if we do a perfect cast. That'd be 120 damage. You know, we'll go with this one. We'll go with that one. So, that is your Q and your E on here. So here's our crystal. Now, when you get to this spot, you just need to kill the crystal, and then nobody's invulnerable anymore. There's a couple other mechanics that work in a similar way. The enemies are actually pretty good. Like I said, it does have a bit of a Darkest Dungeon feel to me. Others might disagree. I feel like it's Darkest Dungeon and Loop Hero combined, which is pretty good. And I like that it seems to get a little bit wide. It feels like it gets a little wider as you go along. I would love to see it, like something to expand the whole thing. This is how long each room is worth a certain portion of the spar. That's when you're going to visit the boss. So, things that are not too bad. This is actually deceptively bad. It says it's a 1-star difficulty, but when it hits you, you oftentimes can't see the projectile using guys around you. So it's way rougher than that 1-star it indicates. This is actually easier than this, which we're going to take that anyway because I want the increased damage. But I find it amusing that is the case, that like the restricted vision is way harder for you than the meteors. The meteors, like, you have a good second, I want to say second and a half to react to that thing. Like, boy, but you get hit by anything in the other way, and it's just like, ah. All right, see, we're gonna avoid that. We're gonna. They can take a little bit of our money. We don't mind that much. And plus, they'll give us crit chance, so we might be able to build up on crit chance if we get something like that. There's a couple of different in this so far, just in this one. See, like I said about the room debuffs go stay by room. It actually took me an embarrassingly long time to figure that out. No, I actually have been enjoying it though. Even with some of the things that I think could be a little better, I was enjoying it enough. You know, like me and my fiance were having a nice conversation, and I ended up playing it while we were talking for probably a good like 2 hours. So yeah, I was having quite a bit of fun. This was pretty hard too. The enemies drop a bomb when they die. This is not as hard, and this movement speed. The problem here is that you don't need it, and I will explain why here in a moment. So we're gonna do that. See, those are actually kind of hazardous because they hurt and they drop out quite a bit. No, this is like a room full of explosives over here. All right. See, now that's a regular cast of our ability too. That's not bad actually. Whoa. All right, you can actually use, and you want to use, you can use this scenery to block guys and dictate how you're going to fight them, and I feel like that's a really important thing in here. We're going to have enemies dropping bombs in both rooms because we just don't need that healing at the moment. All right, let's get rid of our crystal here. Make sure we don't get hit, or at least not too much. Uh-huh. So the perfect cast system I really like because it gives it's definitely an added like level of okay. These guys right here. Now when you first start playing this, you're gonna feel like there's a million things happening at once. And kinda there are. I mean there's a lot of stuff going on. And once you get the mobs patterns and stuff, it becomes more like the first couple of rounds are probably going to be like learning how each mob reacts, because they have some pretty distinct behaviors, but there tends to be a lot of them on screen at the same time, so that can be a little bit rough. This mini boss is a true mini boss. Like they're super hard, and they will come every single run, every single pass through this. That's been probably my biggest run ender before I had gotten a little deeper into the tree. This isn't too bad, so we'll take that. Well, I think we're up to like 10% crit right now, so that's actually not too bad. Yeah, these guys, oh man, these guys are the ones that'll get you. Ow. I dove into that. It was not good. Arrgh. Oh, I did not get the perfect. See, they will beam rifle you from across the screen. So you want to like kind of prioritize those guys because the other guys aren't really as scary. That beam guy though, he will take a chunk out of you while you're doing something else. All right, let's see. We only have like 2 rooms. So I think we'll go with the enraged because it's not going to affect the boss at all. Burning time resets when we hit on create a fire explosion at the beginning of the dash. That could actually be pretty good. Or burning time resets when we hit a burning enemy. Both of those could be really good. Let's go with that burning forever. I like that. That sounds good. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh man. Get out of here. Nope, nope, nope. Nope. Okay, now we can get rid of these guys. So this game is, if you are coming from like Hades or something similar to that, I will say you do have to play a little bit more slowly in here, more careful. I know it doesn't necessarily look like it because of what this right here, but it is definitely easier to oh, I wonder. Oh, maybe that's... Oh, interesting. We knocked him out of his attack in that dash. That was interesting. I don't think I've done that before. So dashing through him actually knocked him out of attack, and we didn't take any damage. All right. So we get to our boss. Now the boss here, again, it feels really busy when you first fight him, but once you start getting it down, this is why I say like there's a Darkest Dungeon vibe here, because once you know the bosses in that game, you kind of can get a lot farther just by learning. And I still haven't even used my little shield thing. I keep forgetting it's there because it's on such a long cooldown. So once you kill the mermaids. Oh, yeah, perfect. So he has about 3 attacks in this first phase, I think. Oops. One of them bombs here. This is a tongue that comes out, and then the other one is this thing. And then when we get him down to about halfway, he goes... You can see the line there. When you get him down to that line, he goes into a... a more dangerous enraged modes. One thing I will note, though, is that one of the hitboxes is not perfect. That one right there. And it's not perfect in favor of the player. The very outer edge of it doesn't really hit you most of the time unless you're fully, like, not quite fully in it, but you got to be pretty deeply in it to actually get hit by that one. I thought I'd note that because it does kind of make the fight feel a little different once you realize, like, wow, I can actually stand just, like, outside of the range of that thing, and... Oh, that's the other... Now we've changed patterns. What? I forgot about that. Once you do the other two, if you can go ahead and tongue that down, sir. Now, he has these rockets, but he also has the availability to do any of the attacks from the earlier phase. And these are a little bit harder to dodge, but you don't even need movement speed to do it. You can just walk away from them, which is not bad. I like this mechanic right here. I do actually like that mechanic. I want to say that Realm of Ink was the first place I saw that, but it might have been Hades. There's some good combos, and I really like his patterns. Like, learning his patterns was the important part. And in a game like this, that can be kind of one of the things you want, especially if they're aiming for it to be a little bit harder. Because oftentimes you're going to feel like you're not fighting against the... you're not fighting necessarily against the monsters in the room, but you're fighting against the modifiers that you had to put on there, which is kind of an interesting way of doing the difficulty gameplay. So the reason I say as soon as you can get to him come on a regular basis to unlock the shop here is because every time you come through here, if I had money, we could buy some more blue tokens. So you can basically guarantee yourself at least 50 tokens per run by having that shop there. Usually you'll have more money than that. We took that other thing real early. So let's do another quick one. You have nothing for me, sir. The runs really aren't that bad in length either. I kind of like that. So I'm not sure how much, if they expanded the map or anything, that would do. How that would affect that, but I really do like that one. Okay, we're going to use this one because I want you to see it. It's like everything in the room is about to become angry at us. I did like those fire blades. I think we're gonna go with those. Do we want to go with those? Yeah, we'll go with those. See that's a trap. And then ow. Sometimes. So, like, some of these guys will actually shoot at you on some of the levels. I'm not sure which ones yet, 100%. There's some green frog-looking things that'll definitely shoot you in the head. But yeah, there's, like, traps everywhere instead of, like, just the 2 big spots. I kind of thought they were, like, the 2 big spots, but they're everywhere. All right, attack damage from meteors or leave a smaller clone. This one is arguably super fun because it makes the whole room... As weird as it sounds, like by increasing this increases the danger from the mobs. So then when you have this, you tend to feel like you're fighting against the mobs versus fighting against the modifiers. So I thought that was kind of an interesting one where it changes kind of the feel of the whole game. In fact, let's do it. So the reason I say it feels like you're fighting the mobs at that time is because you're fighting everything twice. You're fighting it and its mini-me. And it ends up being where there's you can end up with a lot of mobs on the screen just by having them, like, you blap them down just a little too slow. So it is interesting, by the way. I do like, that's one of the things I do want to point out that I really liked was having 2 separate rooms. Again, I would kind of prefer a few more. That's me. But then the runs would be extended by a pretty decent amount of time too. So who knows if that's a good idea? Probably the developer, not me. So I like that. I like that dichotomy between the two rooms and having them different is in a noticeable way. Let's do it. Let's take that. Let's get that big guy. He's gonna be so annoying. Oh, this is a good one. I like this one. So we throw a dart every time our thing comes up on our charge, but this is probably the way to go. Okay, so you'll be able to see the big guy this time. Oh, there he is. Oh, come on, sir. He has a lot of attacks. You do not dodge that in the way that it looked like I was going to dodge that. Because you can't dodge it until it's already on the ground. It can you can get hit a lot of times where you feel like, oh man. Ow, ow. And that attack does have a habit of hitting me quite well. It chunks you down pretty good. He's not impossible to fight. Like, his patterns are pretty okay, but that poison thing can come out pretty fast. So if you don't have anything that'll heal you, it can kind of be a pain when you have him out here. But that's like I said, the risk reward for each room changes, and it makes it pretty interesting. I don't want you to take my gold. We'll go with the restriction on vision. It's ouch. Just means we have to play better. Those little oh yeah, so the restrictions on the vision, the reason I say that like super hard, like deceptively harder than it should be, not should be, but is labeled as, is when you start getting those little guys with the beams, like they'll get you from off the screen. Their range is way past your vision cone. So you will literally like get murdered by these things occasionally, and you know they're not even like on your, you can't see them at all, and just because of that it's a little harder because so many range things. Let's see, we're at 51. We've got traps already, so that's not terrible. We could heal the enemy, and then a magic tree would sprout here and give us health, which would give us health on each pass, I think. So let's test that. I thought it gave me health on each pass, but I wasn't sure. Ow. Ow, traps. Oh yeah, there he is. Get out of here. Get out of here. Okay, so these things you can kill. Ow. I'm now going to just die. You can kill these healing things, and you should. Alright, okay. Now we're starting to get things. Ow. Oh no, that guy's gonna kill me. Oh no, that was not what I was hoping. Oh, a little beam guy. It's hiding in the corner over here. The beam guys are terrifying. Oh, we are going to need some life, though. Hopefully I can find a way to heal. I've had some runs where I've gotten heals, and I've also had some runs where there were no heals to be had. Let's put it that way. Okay, we will take that. So we got a little bit of healing from our tree. Alright, let's see here. I think we go to Merchant's Portal. Merchant's Portal, real quick. Most of the item prices seem to be about 190 to 150 for the big items. So don't know if that's actually really good. We could buy health, Ice Nova. Okay, let's do that. Let's buy some blue currency. Let's buy some health. That leaves us with exactly 100. I think we'll take this. That'll give us a shield at the beginning of each of our circles. Hold on one second. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, YouTube was putting a YouTube's like, we want to put this remix in your videos. And it's not that I dislike remixes, I just dislike that remix. But YouTube is like, no, you must have it. Oh, so far we're actually pretty okay. I'm going to go murder you, sir, because I don't like you. Oh my god. I keep forgetting that they spawn into little guys. Okay, there he is. Thank you. Oh, no. If you can just spawn out the little guy so I can... There you go. So yeah, in the beginning, and there's a lot of stuff going on. It can be pretty hectic. If you got a whole room full of stuff and you get that vision down, oh my god, it will just mess you up. All right, let's see what we got here. The sticky cells aren't too bad. We could probably do that. Or we could do this. Again, this one's not as bad. There's a perk in your perk tree, though, that this one modifier invalidates completely. Because one of your perks is... Ew, healing orb. I think we do that. Yep. So, that'll make healing for both of us. Oh, man. Ow. I don't want to use my thing. Game's like, you're going to use your healing things. And I'm like, I don't want to. Hey, get out of there. There does seem to be something in the... Alright, we got to get rid of those before this thing... Ow. Ooh. Hits me in the back of my head. Well, that worked. Actually, that works real well on him. Now, if I could stay away from the beam guys for a little bit. Yeah, your modifiers can really make or break your run, which is, I think, they're pretty good. Although it does leave a lot to RNG as to how your run's gonna be. Once you learn the patterns, though, like I said, like it has that nice vibe that, like, this is just a demo, so I'm gonna be excited to see what comes out of this, because I think this has got a really good concept, and I really like the way it plays. And you know, there's always an appreciation for learning bosses and things like that, and being able to see them and do stuff. It's, you know, it's one of those things in video games that I always enjoyed. Like, heck, when I first started, that was how you beat games. You memorized, like, oh, okay, I have to jump exactly here. I have to, you know, run up this way, run down this way. I should be using my spell. Oh. You can kind of bait him into particular attacks, by the way. I don't know if there's a favoritism system on there based off of where you're on the screen, but it seems like I can get him to go essentially between two specific attacks, which is kind of interesting. So I don't know if you can bait out specific attacks. That's kind of a thing in some games. Like, a lot of Metroidvanias have that sort of mechanic where you can bait out specific attacks by being in specific positions so that you can make the boss a little bit, you know, tiny bit easier. We have an alarmingly low amount of life. Hopefully it won't be a problem. Alright. Oh, you like your vacuum today. I mean, it does give me more opportunities to do that, though. That's the easiest one to dodge. In the beginning, when it feels like it, like when you first start doing this, that one feels so hard to dodge, but once you get it down, it's like, oh, okay. It's that, I think part of it is that calm that once you've beaten a game like that, once you've beaten a boss like this with pattern, you kind of go in there more calmly and you're like, hey, that works. Didn't quite get enough to get ourselves didn't have enough gold. But that's okay. So, this has been Rogue Loops. Like I said, I think this is a pretty... I think we got a pretty decent... the demo is pretty fun, so I think we can kind of... I feel like I can kind of say, like, I'm going to have some fun playing this. Hopefully, it'd be a nice one to see when it comes out. So, thank you all for watching, especially if you're still watching. And if you enjoyed this, I hope you come back for the next one. As always, I hope you have a great day.